And welcome back, and we're moving into our third segment for the morning. It is a fun Friday, and with fun, we'll be learning something new, and it's how to make candle. The Benque House of Culture and candle making session, that's now. Los Finados is coming up, and we've got Nalleli Yacab, who is a coordinator at the Benque House of Culture. Bienvenido. Buenos dias.
Thank you, John. Today we're preparing one of the most important elements in our Finados altar. And like how Marlene is saying, we're starting early, but in Benque we start the preparation early.
Yeah.
It's not something at last minute.
And I was going to say thank you so much for being back. We love when you come to prepare Finados, especially because we got a special altar here. But there are very important essentials to your altar, and the candle is definitely one of them.
Yes, and it's very important for us because this is what we believe that guides the souls coming back.
Yes.
Okay.
To visit and consume what we have prepared with love. So this should guide our dearly departed to come back to earth, and we also prepare it with love. Whenever we set it up in the altar, this is very significant because we prepare, every candle represents one soul.
One soul.
So usually we would have, how we set it up is like in a cross form. However, in our Mayan culture, we would believe that it's the cardinal points. But the syncretism between the Catholicism and the culture.
Yeah.
Well, then religiously we would say it resembles a cross.
Yeah. So it's a cross, but it's also
Yes.
it has other symbolisms as well.
Yes.
Let me ask a question though. How often do people go through the process of candle making versus just buying
a candle?
a candle?
Well, this is very special for us because it's the easiest when you just go and buy your pack of candles.
Yes.
But for us, this is very special because the aroma is different, the scent is different. So we would have it. It's special candles, and it's candles just prepared for the season because the beeswax has become an exotic product.
So
wait.
So candles are made. These candles are made from beeswax.
Beeswax.
Yeah. And there's also a little significance tied into that too, right?
Yes, there's a lot of superstition when you prepare this.
Yeah.
But we use the bees because they're hardworking. So this would combine the whole environment whenever you prepare your altar.
Yeah.
Compared to what you would have at the stores, you just go buy and put up. But we can usually do that. But traditionally, this is what we have, and this is what we prepare.
Cool. So let's jump.
So what you do is buy this block. Where do you get
Yes,
this
we buy
from?
this block, and we have Mr. Raul Shish, who is the one who prepares it, and he's been one of the only person who makes this available for us. As part of the House of Culture, we plan workshops so that we could preserve and we could learn how to do it because at first, we just buy it from this family who has had it for generations, but now they have shared the skills and the knowledge of looking at it because before you would just buy it, but now we have the product and now we could see the process, and it is not too tedious. It's kind of dangerous if you're a child. So whenever we have workshops, we have it open for children and everybody so that we could. This is part of our intangible cultural heritage, so this is what we're trying to promote and preserve in our community.
I think making it actually is a part of the entire cultural aspect and the ritual of it.
Right, and coming from the bees, it's the byproduct. You have,
totally
you take the honey, and then we have that resembling. So this is washed, it's boiled, and then it's sieved.
Is it scented?
No, it's not. It's
This is
natural.
the natural
Organic.
smell
It's
of
organic.
beeswax?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And traditionally, they say that we shouldn't be smelling like the candles when they're prepared. So, no, but they're not prepared because it's for the souls, and it should be to purify the environment as well.
When they're already prepared, you shouldn't be smelling
and
them.
even you shouldn't be taking it off because we curse and we say things with our mouth. So we have to be very careful how we prepare and how we do stuff.
Okay, so we'll talk about some of the rules. Let's try to start the process here.
Let's do it.
So what you would do, you purchase the raw beeswax, right?
So we cut it into pieces, and then we would melt it.
Okay.
Okay,
You
so that's
usually
what's
have
going
a
on
fire
right now.
heart, but
Yes.
we have to.
On fire hot, right?
Yes,
That
you have
would
to be a
more
bit
traditional.
modern.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we have the strings, and we would come and dip the strings inside.
Okay, so which one of them?
So I think it will be just kind of tedious here to do the strings. So
Okay.
I just brought it for
This.
Yes, for
Okay,
demonstration
here you go.
process. So we would dip this in,
Okay.
but then we would have to roll it.
Okay, so let's try it. Let's.
Yeah, we'll roll on the
So
paper.
maybe
Roll on,
John could
roll
come
on,
over this
yeah,
side.
roll on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you do, this is heated. This is the wax in
This
here.
is gonna be hot. So I'll just place it on the side because here we don't have enough space to.
Okay, can I get a
To
piece of
roll it?
paper
You
to
can go over there.
put it to? Okay. Sorry. good. All right, let's go. Ooh. Okay, so any which place?
Just here.
Right here, the glass.
Let's come off. You have to roll it.
So we roll it now at this point
And
because
be
it seems like it's
careful
already
because
sticking.
Yes. And it
All
will
right,
get
so
dry
we roll
quick.
it. Yes.
So that's the base of your candle?
Yes.
Okay, so if you were doing the string, what would it do? You just dip it in?
Yes, you dip it the string, but that was used to hang. That's gonna be used to hang. So afterwards, John rolls it in. He's gonna get something resembling to that. That's a string.
Mine will not be as.
So we can start hand dipping it and
Yeah, you
use
want
the
another
wick.
one?
We can bring the other one that's ready prepared because that will take
Oh, I
a
get
bit
it
of
now.
time.
So what you're saying is you're going with the first base and then you
Yes,
re-dip
yes.
and then you dip
so
again.
what John is doing, he's getting the first process ready, but it will
Oh.
take time for us to get it dried and stringed.
Oh, okay.
So
So
we
do
just
you pour
dip
it?
it
Do
in.
you-
Let's start from the top.
Okay.
And that's one coat, and we wait.
And you wait till it dries.
Yes. If not, it will continue. It will melt everything up.
Oh, what's coming up?
So sometimes
off.
what we have to do to prepare is that it has to be at a boiling point. If not, it's gonna get solid.
So let me do
But we could also get it to.
It's actually,
Why not?
but it gets solid quickly.
Yes, it does.
We hot.
Everybody has
Ah,
a
cool.
little tolerance to hot candle.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Like
Some
really
of the
cool.
superstition that's involved is that they have to abstain before
I was going to
preparing
ask
it.
you, so
And men are the ones who prepare it especially.
so the women don't typically prepare this?
Women have like their cycle monthly, so
okay.
we have to. If
Wait,
that
so
would
if
have been the
you're
case,
if
it would
you're
just drip
menstruating, you
over.
can't do
Yes.
this.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
So
and
keep your distance.
you're supposed to abstain from
Wow.
sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least for a day or so.
This
Once
is
you're
very
prepared.
this is very common in Mayan culture as well. In
Yes.
preparing cultural stuff, we heard that with the Maha Blanca as well.
Right.
Lots
wouldn't want to
of
get close to that.
superstition. I seem to be missing it complete. All right, there we go.
There it is.
So it's a matter of being at your purest
Yes.
when you prepare
So when the
this.
souls come in, it's welcoming for them. If not, it's not gonna be as welcoming as it should be. You could try another
Do one
coat.
here.
Let me, yes.
Okay, I can lean over here. Now, tell us about some of the other superstitions. So it's typically by men because of a woman's cycle and how it may not match up to the time you're making it. Abstinence from sex. What other
You shouldn't be
expectations?
going up and down at the bathroom.
You shouldn't be using the
Yes,
bathroom. Okay.
Right. So
You also spoke of foul words, like you shouldn't be saying anything negative.
whenever the candle is being placed in the altar, then you wouldn't want to take it off with your mouth. You would use something to take it off because we curse and we say bad words with our mouth.
Oh,
So
you mean when you
within-
out the
yes,
candle?
Yes.
Oh.
And it would usually take about 1 hour and a half or 2 hours for the candle to be consumed.
So as you go, every layer it just gets thicker
Just
and
get thicker. Yes.
Right.
And like you mentioned, it's men who makes them.
Mostly
men,
but now in our community, since we have the opportunity to create our own candles, people do come in and learn the process. They would take about 2 candles and leave the rest for us.
Okay.
So we have kids interacting and learning and having more skills and knowing how the candles are being made.
Wow.
This is pretty cool. Now, we spoke of the purpose of the candle. So when somebody's doing their altar, what is the purpose of the candle?
It welcomes the soul from whenever you're placing your altar. It would welcome the soul coming and visiting us from wherever they are.
This would be a failed candle.
We are modern one.
Because we are imperfect souls after all.
Right.
Now, how strong is this tradition, Nalleli?
Well, I believe it's getting its strength as like how I'm telling you, people are now learning more about the skills and
Yeah.
they're having a hands-on experience than
Yeah.
before usually, just purchasing it.
Yeah.
It has a more significance. And I understand, that in the past our ancestors, they would everybody would prepare it. And the only difference is that they have advised us or they have notified us that these are now from the African bees who have migrated into this area.
Okay.
Yeah.
But before the candles would be darker.
Oh.
So they might have like a purplish black look.
And
But it depends on the type of bees.
and what's the specific day, or is it like a week long in terms of finados? Is it a specific day? that is being celebrated?
Oh, we celebrate from the first and the second. The first day is for the
First day of what month?
kids,
November?
for the children. The first of
Yeah.
November, and then the second of November is for the adults.
Can you differentiate kids as in like storytelling?
Dia de los Muertos is the first, is it?
No, that's
it is-
for the children.
Okay,
That's
that-
Dia de los Muertos for kids.
Yeah, but it's November 1st
November
or
1st,
Okay.
and November 2nd is for the adults.
So what happens on November 1st?
Well, on November 1st, families would put up an altar for kids, but the elements would vary. That food would have to be food that's not too solid. It's food that's little soups. We would put sweets. We would have candles. We might have the images of the child. We'd have water. I think it's you added too much coat, so now it's going to start melting.
Oh, mine. Okay.
So you have to dry it up.
Okay. Well.
Okay, well, yeah, this is it.
So let's continue with John, and you're one to keep drying.
Okay. I'm a failed candle maker.
No, we could still. There's nothing wrong. We
It's
just have
smoking.
to. Yeah, so we'll have
Yeah.
to bring it down.
Okay. Yeah, so that's
Yes, so for Dia de los Angelitos, which is November 1st, then it will have a bit differentiated with the elements that are being
Yeah.
used. So if there is a special toy or something that we would want to have there, we would.
Yeah.
And this
Those are
year,
for babies or children
yes,
who passed.
Yes. So this year we're gonna do a Dia de los Muertos, but for a child who has passed away, and we're gonna focus on the 1st of November.
Okay.
Because what takes more focus is November 2nd
Yeah.
to prepare an altar and have it there.
Nalleli, we know, and it's a great time for people to understand ahead of time too. There's a lot of misconceptions about Dia de los Muertos and Finados. Tell us just basically where the tradition comes from and why it's still celebrated in parts of Belize today.
Well, it's something that has been passed on from generation to generation. It's
Yeah.
something that comes from the pre-Hispanic and the Mayan fusing in. And now whenever the Spaniards came over, they added the syncretism to it because the Mayas have been practicing this for centuries before they came in. So this is where the All Souls Day and then the Catholic elements and the religious elements are now incorporated
Yeah.
and added, and then this fuses in because we say prayers, but this is a practice that has been ongoing from our ancestors, and especially in the Mayan culture, you know, that we they had rituals, collecting skulls and having certain exhibitions, and it was a gift to a person being sacrificed for their gods. So it's something that now in the present day, well, you don't want your loved one to visit because this is what we believe in. We don't want our loved one to come over and consume nothing on this special day.
You
No.
need to be prepared for it.
We need to be prepared for whenever the souls are visiting us.
A lot of times people think because it's so strong in the Mexican culture that it's a Mexican tradition that's been passed on to us.
No, definitely. I mean, it has been commercialized. It's very rich in Mexico and the way how it has been done. But I guess the transmission, changes a bit whenever it comes to our area. That it's not that commercialized within us. We're very strong. Our anti-Halloween. This is something that we keep and we want to continue preserving for generations.
So it's not a Halloween celebration.
No, definitely not. That involves another cult and rituals that are not incorporated into our culture. But in today's world, it's now a commercial world. It's everything that is
everything
being
gets that way. Everything culturally actually gets that way.
Dia de los Muertos, or All Souls Day as well. All Souls Day is from the church. Dia de los Muertos is the cultural.
Well, coming in together, that's the syncretism of it. That it has meshed together. That we have our Mayan elements or elements that have been transmitted from generations to generation. But now, we involve and have prayers, and we have the images, we have crosses, we have the rosary as part of the elements. But this is something that has always been part of the Mayan fusion.
Is there a peak of the day that things really get, there's a specific time that people would focus on of the day?
Well, it's an all day.
Okay, so now
starts with breakfast.
6
You
a.m.,
would
6
have the
p.m.
gourds, the calabash, the chocolate, and the sweet bread added there at 6 in the morning.
And the porridge.
And the porridge and the shpasha and the smell of it is just
oh my God,
enticing.
I would love
So, and then we would have lunch, and then in the evening, some people have chose, to take it to the cemetery perhaps have it at their homes.
Yeah.
But it's a practice that is very common in our
Yeah.
community. So and afterwards in the evening they will go to the cemetery, have flowers, and be there. You know, which is, you know, once you bury your beloved one, you're not returning there that
Yeah.
often. Also,
Right.
it's really nice, you know, coming in the evenings and seeing all the lights.
Yeah. So the belief really is that the souls of your loved ones come back
Right.
on this day, and you
Yes.
welcome them back with hot food and a candle to guide them there, and their favorite things as well to enjoy.
Yes, that's
Okay.
specifically the purpose of.
And where do things like the candy skull and all these things?
Well,
like-
that's mostly the part of the Mexican
Yeah, that's
tradition,
the
and that's part of
Mexican
the
part.
altar. But for us, we would have like the local sweets and syrups, like the pumpkin sweet,
Yeah.
the green papaya sweet,
Yeah.
the crabu, and those things would fuse in, and it depends on also the preference of our beloved one, so we would know, well, it can be as modern as they want. Maybe the loved one liked rice and beans, so we would have rice and beans.
course,
So if
Snickers.
you want Snickers, you know, there's no limitation to what you need to have, but there are certain elements that you need to
But
have
you
it
know,
to complete.
we know that the first is for the children, the second is for the adults. Is there any alcohol consumption?
Oh
during
yes,
Finale?
definitely. That's part of the elements in the altar. So in the altar we would have water, you know, for to purify the
Purify.
soul. But in the Mayan aspect is that whenever we have the water bodies, the cenotes, that is the entrance to the underworld. But then the syncretism within the Catholic religion is that, you know, that would quench the soul of the person visiting us.
Yeah.
So there are things that, you know, we need to learn and know why it's being placed. We have salt because that's also to not for the body not to be corrupted. So salt will preserve the body whenever they're visiting. Lights, we would have pictures.
Yeah.
We'd have a cross, a rosary, a personal belonging, maybe a Bible.
Yeah.
If the person would also like to smoke, or we'll have some cigars or
Yeah.
pura there. So
Yeah.
and there's
Alcohol
always
too.
alcohol. The alcohol is the spirit that's always there at present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So every year,
Fresh
the
flowers.
Benque House of Culture has a featured altar.
yes.
What will be the altar this year? You said it's going to be for a child this
It's
year.
gonna be for a child, and it's gonna be on the first, and then family is welcome, but after the prayers.
Yeah.
So it's also important to know that whenever you're going to serve, you're not going to be handpicking and tasting.
Yeah.
Everything is gonna be served and shared with the family after everything has been.
Ah.
Prayers have been offered after people have, you know, acknowledged the presence and the celebration. So it's quite a celebration. It's a social celebration of culture, and this is how we
And
preserve.
can other cultures or people go out to see what happens?
Well, definitely, this is an open event for the public. This is something that we are very proud to showcase in our community. This is something that we look forward every year to welcoming the public and coming over, you know, to getting your boyos, ishpelong, and your ishpasha. So those are the food that we would share with our
Boyos.
community.
Yeah.
And as part of NIT, you know, this is what we try to preserve and to promote in our communities. And all of the houses of culture within Belize are going to be sharing their delicious treats. In Corozal, I'm aware that Miss Deborah is preparing her altar, her Hanal Pishan, and she's having it at the park. So there's a lot of interaction, skills, and
Okay.
knowledge being shared. You know? And all the rest of houses of culture have showcase and promote this. In Benque, we also promote oral traditions. So on the 26th, we're going to have a storytelling night that we have annually. It's been ongoing for the past 7-8 years,
Okay.
where we have the supernatural stories.
Oh, yeah.
Since we also have certain
Shabai.
beliefs that, you know, the chills of this season brings in finados, and all the supernatural stories and the superstitions that we have during this season. And this also helps us to defray Halloween, you know. It's also for our kids to learn what we have actually and keep them affiliated.
And I was gonna say, you know, in Benque especially, a lot of people still do their altars. It's
Yes,
still very,
people it's still very
rich
active,
part of the
and
culture.
even if, you know, like people now, you know, now the modern women who works now they would have their altar maybe in the evening, but the parents would have their offerings. And even though you might dress up your kids still in Halloween, there's still certain elements and practices that you're doing, you know, because like I tell you, now schools are promoting Halloween. It's mostly commercialized. You go to the stores, your kids are getting
Costumes.
your eyes on it. So it's something that they are thinking that, you know, the interaction is that, but we hold strong to what we have, and we try to promote and preserve it the best and most creative way that we can
And as we showed, the candle making process is quite lengthy. That's as
Yeah,
far
it
as
is.
we've gotten. This is what we're working towards. And as you said, it'd be set up as a cross.
No. Whenever
yeah.
you're setting it on your altar, it's gonna be into cross design.
So it'd be 1, 2, and then 1, 2.
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic.
So some people will have it on some wooden platforms.
Yeah.
Others might have it on a glass. Others might have it on the bottle cap.
Okay.
So they would have to display it and
All right.
have it on the altar. So
Well, thank you for
Nando.
coming in and sharing a very important practice in the tradition. And we definitely hope people take the time to check out the altar in Benque. And it'll be November 1st, you said?
and
November 1st, it's gonna be in the evening. About 7 prayers are gonna be about 7 prayers. Take about maybe an hour and 15 minutes. So we
And-
have to wait for prayers
And the oral history is October 26th?
on October 26th, is next week Friday.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so much for coming in, Nalleli.
Gracias.
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much as well, and thank you for the invitation, for coming and sharing this intangible cultural heritage of ours in our community in Western Belize.
All right. We're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we have one more segment for you. We'll be talking about a special fundraising event, looking for clothes and toys. So stay tuned.
All right.